Hey and welcome! In today's video we are going to make some DIY recycled bags as I'm showing right here, and today I will make one for a smartphone. Now without further ado, let's jump right into the video. For this project you will need some old plastic packaging as well as some tape to tape something together and a foil that normally protects your books. I'll link mine down below. The first step is, depending on what you want to store in it, to cut your pieces in the size of the, in my case, smartphone. But make sure to add enough seam allowance. Also, you will need some fabric pieces from cotton, for example, that are a bit smaller than your packaging, and in my case I also thickened them with this material so that my bag has a bit more structure, but you could also skip that step. Let's continue now by cutting some pieces from the foil that are a bit bigger than the packaging pieces. That step is very helpful to strengthen the edges of the packaging pieces where we are going to sew afterwards. By the way, when attaching the foil to the plastic packaging, I would recommend to either work with your hands or to use a ruler to avoid those air bubbles. My tip for reducing these air bubbles would be to poke in with a needle and then smooth out the excess air with a ruler or just your finger. Then you just fold over the excess foil on the edges, and obviously you will do this for the other side as well. Now we can finally start to sew. First of all, you will need a zipper. The size of it depends on how big your bag should be in the end. In my case it was 30 centimeters long, but 50 centimeters would have been enough. As you can see, our zipper has two sides, and now we lay the little teeth facing towards the beautiful side of our packaging, and then we will clip it with those clips because pins would just damage your packaging. Now we'll need our fabric pieces, and in case you didn't line it, you don't need to be super careful about that step, but if you lined it as I did, you need to face the beautiful side, which is the one without the lining, towards the zipper and the beautiful side of your packaging, then clip that as well and sew with a normal straight stitch. By the way, in case you are not sure if you did it right, just flip it over and then you can see if it would open the right way. And don't forget to backstitch when starting and ending your seam. Here's now how mine looks like, and by the way, because you don't want to damage your packaging too much, you will need your longest stitch length, which is 4 in my case for all the seams. And then the next step is to do the exact same, so just lay your beautiful side of the other part of the packaging. By the way, make sure that it fits to the other side, so if there's like a certain pattern that you want to follow, make sure to keep that in mind. And then with right sides facing towards the teeth of the zipper, clip that again. Yes, you might have already guessed it, now we need the other fabric piece that we are going to lay on top of the other one, so they are facing each other, right sides facing, and then you'll just clip them again and sew a normal seam right here. By the way, I'm currently making 2 other sheer tops. I will link the tutorial that I just posted up here. And I just love the pattern, it's so simple to make, and I found those 2 colors of the fabric and I figured I would need to make some more. But now let's get back to the project. This step, which is the top stitching part, is optional, but I think that it helps to make sure that everything stays in place when sewing the whole bag together afterwards. So therefore I'm just pushing everything to its direction and then top stitching those parts, making sure everything lays flat. Here's the after, and in my opinion there is a huge difference. Now for the very last step, you need to make sure that the zipper is anywhere in your bag and that it's opened so that we can turn the whole project inside out. And now you just need to make sure that, as I said earlier on, there is this opening and that the teeth of the zipper are facing to the fabric direction. And then you will just line right sides facing the packaging and the fabric pieces up and clip them as well, and then sew around the whole project. Now that everything lays nice and flat, we can finish our bag. When sewing, we will start at the fabric side and then sew all the way around, leaving an opening to turn the project inside out. Keep in mind, the bigger the opening is, the easier it is to turn it inside out. Here's now how my bag is looking so far. Make sure to push out all the edges very well before the next step, which is to close the opening that we created for turning it inside out by folding the seam allowances and sewing it closed. This is my final result, and that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me about your results in the comments if you decided to make one as well, and subscribe to my channel to not miss out any further videos. I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye!